So you're a Subaru owner, right? Then you definitely know that one little light on the dashboard that can just ruin your whole day. Today, we're going to demystify one of the biggest culprits behind that dreaded check engine light, the P0030 error code.
And there it is, that glowing little symbol. You know the one. And your mind just starts racing, doesn't it? Is this serious? How much is this going to cost me? Well, hey, before you panic, let's figure out what your car is actually trying to tell you. You see, if that light's on, there's a really good chance your car's onboard computer has logged a specific fault. And for a ton of Subaru owners out there, that fault is error code P0030.
So let's talk about that annoying check engine light. Honestly, try to think of it less as a big, scary warning and more like a message. It's just your car's computer, tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, I've noticed something specific, and you should probably check it out. And here's the thing. If you're seeing this code, the good news is you are absolutely not alone. The P0030 code is super common for Subaru drivers. And you know what that means? It means there's a really clear, well-worn path to getting it fixed. No guesswork needed.
Okay, let's get into it. Decoding the P0030 code. What in the world does P0030 actually mean? I know it sounds super technical, like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's really just a specific message. So let's break it down.
Okay, so this code isn't just some vague, uh-oh, engine problem message. No way. The P0030 code is laser-focused. It points directly to a problem with the heater control circuit for what's called Bank 1 Sensor 1. Basically, that's your main front oxygen sensor. Now, here's the deal. For that sensor to do its job, which is measuring oxygen in your exhaust to help the engine run efficiently, it has to get really, really hot. This code is your car's way of saying, hey, the little heater inside this sensor, yeah, it's not working.
So, what are the symptoms you should watch for? Well, you might actually feel the car running a little rough, maybe not as smooth as usual. But your car's computer, it's seeing something way more specific. It's looking at the electricals. See, it knows it's supposed to be sending power to that sensor's heater, over 10.9 volts to be exact. And if it's pumping out a lot of power, like over 35% of its capacity, but the sensor just isn't warming up like it should, bam, it throws that P0030 code and turns on the light.
Okay, so we know what the problem is, but the big question is, why is it happening? Let's play detective and look at the common causes. And luckily for us, this isn't some huge, complicated mystery. When it comes to the P0030 code, there are really only a few key suspects. The problem almost always boils down to the oxygen sensor itself or the wiring and connectors that are supposed to give it power.
All right, let's get to the good part, how to actually fix it. Enough about the problem, let's talk solutions.
So here's a really clear, logical way to think about it. First up, could it be a bad wiring harness? The wires between the computer and the sensor might be old, frayed from all that engine heat. The fix? Check that harness. Make sure it's plugged in tight and working. Or maybe the front oxygen sensor is just, well, defective. This is honestly the most common cause. And the solution is simple. Replace it with a new one. Then you've got poor contact in the connectors. Maybe they're dirty, maybe they're loose. So you check them, clean them, or replace them. It's just a step-by-step process of elimination. And really, let's just cut to the chase. 9 times out of 10, maybe even more, the most direct path to getting rid of that P0030 code is right here. Replace the front oxygen sensor with a new, functioning one. I mean, you should always check the simple stuff first, right? Like the wiring and the connectors. But more often than not, the sensor itself is the culprit. Okay, let's pull it all together. Here are your key takeaways. If you only remember a few things from this whole explainer, make it these. First, remember that P0030 is all about your front oxygen sensor's heater circuit. That's it. Second, the problem is almost always the sensor, its wiring, or the connectors. It's a very short list of suspects. Third, your first step should always be checking the easy stuff, the connections and the wiring. And finally, don't be surprised if the ultimate fix is just replacing the sensor. It's a super common and effective solution for this specific code.
So, see? With this knowledge, that check engine light suddenly seems a whole lot less intimidating, doesn't it? It's not just some random scary problem anymore. It's a puzzle, and now you have the key pieces to solve it. So the only question left is, are you ready to go tackle that code?